Hello, I'm Camelia, and this is KiniNews. Wan Fayhsal has questioned the government's decision to impose conditions on development allocations through a memorandum of understanding for opposition-held constituencies. This was what he had to say about the issue.
Bersatu Youth Chief Wan Fayhsal Wan Kamal has expressed his disagreement with the government's approach to providing allocation for opposition-held constituencies. He was referring to the draft Memorandum of Understanding concerning allocation for opposition MPs. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Wan Fayhsal said that the Perikatan Nasional helmed state governments had provided equal allocation to opposition MPs in states like Kedah and Kelantan without any preconditions. He questioned why there is a need to impose conditions when equal allocations are given to opposition MPs in other states without them. He also asked if this meant that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim is not confident in his parliamentary support. Commenting further, Wan Fayhsal emphasized the suffering of the people in opposition-held constituencies, particularly those living in poverty. He argued that the government should prioritize the needs of the people, regardless of their political affiliation. His remarks came after Opposition Chief Whip Takiyuddin Hassan said the government has laid out 7 conditions for PN to agree in exchange for constituency funding for its lawmakers. Among the clauses include matters about speech that touch on 3R and obligating all PN MPs to declare their assets to the government. The Kota Baru MP said the opposition lawmakers would also need to agree to support the government until the end of this term.
Meanwhile, when quizzed on the matter today, Fahmi Fadzil said it was a draft MOU and can still be discussed. He added that the opposition should emulate Harapan's previous approach, which allowed for the allocation to be provided.
Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil has urged opposition MPs to raise issues regarding constituency allocations in an orderly manner, rather than through the media. In a press conference today, he said discussions should be held with Deputy Prime Minister Fadilah Yusof, who is in charge of the matter. Fahmi told Perikatan Nasional Chief Whip Takiyuddin Hassan to emulate how the previous opposition Pakatan Harapan handled the issue.
Waktu saya pembangkang dulu, waktu kami bincang dengan Perdana Menteri pada waktu itu, Yang Berhormat, pada waktu itulah Perdana Menteri kami tak bincang perkara ni dengan media. Jadi kalau mereka ikut langkah kami dahulu, bincang dengan baik, dengan tertib, tak menjadi masalah. Timbalan Perdana Menteri Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Fadilah telah menyatakan ini adalah draft. Datanglah jumpa, sampaikanlah pandangan, kita boleh bincang.
Fahmi added that Takiyuddin should meet Fadilah as soon as possible to talk about the issue, as it is the right forum. Yesterday, Takiyuddin was reported to have said that the government has set 7 conditions for the opposition, including support for the government until the end of the 15th parliament term, to enable them to receive allocations. Takiyuddin also claimed that no allocation amounts were included in the draft MOU.
Several analysts have shared their views on the Sedition Act. According to one of them, voters may punish the government over it.
A political analyst believes that people who previously voted for Pakatan Harapan will not hesitate to punish them at the ballot box if draconian laws such as the Sedition Act 1948 are still maintained and enforced. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, University Malaysia Sarawak adjunct professor Jayum Anak Jawan said Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and his party must keep this in mind as it was part of their reform pledge. Meanwhile, International Islamic University Malaysia Assistant Professor Shaza Shukri said the decision to retain the law provides the opposition with opportunities to point out the government's hypocrisy. Overall, she said there are no advantages for Harapan in keeping the law. Political scientist Wong Ching-huat also commented on the matter. According to him, the government could be seen as selling out the Malays if the Sedition Act was repealed. However, he said this could be avoided if they could rope in the opposition support to repeal the law. He told Malaysia Kini that in politics, many Malays see the Sedition Act as a tool to protect their political dominance and sensitivity from being challenged. To combat the narrative, Wong said the government could implement guidelines for the use of the Act, which could reduce partisan hatred splitting Malay voters. Wong believed the guideline on the use of the Sedition Act would also ensure an impartial, consistent, and reasonable application of the Act.
If you would like to read the full comments from the analysts, head to malaysiakini.com. Before we move on, if you would like access to news like this and more, consider supporting us and donate to Kinitv by scanning the QR code on the screen. Next, Puat Zarkashi had some questions for the opposition today over the establishment of the SG4 company. He also questioned if Kedah MB Muhammad Sanusi Matnor is okay with having the 4 states having equal shares in the company.
UMNO Supreme Council member Muhammad Puat Zarkashi has questioned what would happen to SG4 Group, the company set up by the 4 Perikatan Nasional states, if 1 or 2 of them were to fall. In a post on Facebook, Puat said it was not impossible for BN to recapture Terengganu, Kedah and Perlis. He said never before had 4 states shared one company, and there would be many problems regarding employees, assets, shares and the board of directors. He also pointed out that Sanusi does not like to share and highlighted his remarks from yesterday, where he had said that Kedah suffered losses since God made earth. Puat also claimed that the company's establishment was motivated by politics, not business, especially as his advisor is Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Yesterday, Mahathir had made the announcement that the 4 Perikatan Nasional states had formed the SG4 Group. He said the 4 PN states, which involve Kelantan, Terengganu, Kedah and Perlis, will have equal stakes in the company. According to Mahathir, this is so that they can share wealth among them, including revenue from natural resources.
Ahmad Saleh has asked if Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man will call for the Perlis and Kedah MBs to go on leave. This was in response to Tuan Ibrahim's call for Zahid to go on leave after a police report was lodged against him.
UMNO Youth Chief Dr. Muhammad Ahmad Saleh has hit out at past Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man. This was for asking UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to go on leave pending an investigation against him. In a post on Facebook, Akmal questioned if Tuan Ibrahim would call for Kedah Menteri Besar Muhammad Sanusi Matnor and Perlis MB Muhammad Shukri Ramli to go on leave as well. He pointed out that both of them also have ongoing cases. He asked if Tuan Ibrahim was okay with calling for others to go on leave, but not members of his own party. Sanusi is facing 2 sedition charges, and last May, the Attorney General's chambers rejected his bid for representation. Meanwhile, MACC questioned Shukri for 8 hours last April regarding alleged power abuse involving infrastructure development projects in Perlis since 2022. Yesterday it was reported that Tuan Ibrahim had called for Zahid to go on leave after a police report was lodged against the latter for allegedly deceiving and misleading the previous Yandi Pertuan Agong. Sinar Harian quoted Tuan Ibrahim as expressing concern that the probe against the Deputy Prime Minister would not be as transparent if the latter is still on active duty. Zahid, who is also the BN chairperson, has welcomed the probe.
Sanusi's comments on the water dispute with Penang was back in the headlines today. When asked for comments, Chow Kon Yeow said he will answer if it is brought to court.
Penang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow said he would respond to Kedah MP Muhammad Sanusi Matnor over the water issue if the matter is taken to court. He explained that there are various laws and conventions governing the use of raw water resources involving more than one country or state, and it would be up to the court to make a decision. According to the New Straits Times, he told reporters in Penang that it's up to the Kedah state government to initiate legal action, and they will respond accordingly. He was responding to a question regarding the state's chances of winning the legal battle over the matter. Yesterday, the Chief Minister said he was prepared to meet Sanusi in court after the latter claimed that he has no other option but to pursue legal redress. Sanusi had said that Kedah had suffered losses from the time God created the earth. However, he noted that since the figure would be incalculable, the state government aimed to settle for a claim of 50 million ringgit every year. Sanusi had previously demanded that Penang pay Kedah for raw water supplied from Sungai Muda, claiming the funds will be used to preserve the water and ensure sufficient supply.
That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.